everybody, and welcome back again to Let's Play Fallout New Vegas. So, I'm still here in the H&H tool factory, and I guess H stands for house. One of the houses anyway, and the other H maybe Henderson. But yeah, I actually wanted to leave this place today because I thought I was finished. But I have been informed that apparently I missed some messages because the messages on these terminals are not all the same. At least not the ones on the network drive. So yeah, this is definitely a different message. Cindy Lou can no longer save me. I mean, it doesn't really give me much more information, but I should make sure that I've checked all of them. Now, these are just on this particular terminal. But I guess I should at least check out the suspicious terminals, because I think they are the ones that have the hidden network drive. No more haircuts, no more trims. They can use it to steal your thought energy with their eyes. I have a special hat that stops them though. Special hat and special shotgun. Father, why have you stopped talking to me? You always loved him best, didn't you? Okay, I guess he's talking about his brother, the other house. And there's one over here. Yeah, these are getting later and later. We are in the 70s now. Nevertheless. Nevertheless. Yeah, I think his state of mind is just deteriorating with each of these messages. I'm going to assume that it was, Mr. House, meaning Anthony House, who wrote all the messages on the network drives. Well, there might be more suspicious terminals downstairs, I suppose, so let's have a quick look at that as well. Okay, this one is not working at all. And I think the normal terminals, yeah, they don't have like that hidden network drive, so I think they only include the same messages. Well, I think I found all of them now. I mean, it doesn't give me a whole lot of info other than, yeah, he's going crazy. By the way, did I actually... Yeah, I have some of these entries in my inventory, 4 of them. So I hope I found all of these hidden messages now. But okay, I guess I'm going to leave now after all. And I mean, I can come back here if I missed anything important. It's not like this is a point of no return. And yeah, like I said last episode, I think what I would like to do today is continue the Return to Sender quest, because I've already visited one of the ranger stations again, so now I'm just going to visit the other 2, Delta and Alpha. And I mean, one of them was destroyed anyway, so I guess I don't have to go back there. Yeah, let's just fast travel and let's make sure nothing weird has happened in these places. But I would be very surprised if any of these reports turn out to be true.
Smart move for the Kings to back down.
I guess I have to talk to you, Ranger Hanlon.
Did you need something else?
No, I have to inquire about some curious high casualties, apparently.
High casualties? We've had one broken ankle, but nobody at this post has died.
Okay, well, so why does Reyes' information say otherwise? Maybe you're lying to keep morale up. Why? Why would lying about high casualties keep morale up? That doesn't make any sense.
Any injury, illness, or death gets radioed to Ranger HQ at Camp Golf. Chief Hanlon and his aides compile the reports and assign reinforcements as needed. And they're not needed here.
Okay. So how could Reyes have been so wrong about this?
There are other Ranger posts around. Reyes might have mixed up the report.
But I mean, all these reports are weird. And while this one is technically one that could be true, you know, high casualties wouldn't be out of the ordinary, the trained death claw, and I don't remember what the other report was, but I think it was also a pretty strange one. So this is not just a case of mixing up reports, I think. Maybe you're lying to keep morale up. I don't understand how this is supposed to work. Maybe I'm going to pick it just to see what she's going to say.
Do a fucking head count then. Everybody's right where they're supposed to be.
Well, she didn't like that accusation. But yeah, I don't understand how fabricating high casualties would increase morale. Maybe because they think they're getting more reinforcements? I don't know. But I don't think that this is the case here. Somebody is clearly faking these reports. So, never mind.
Reyes got the numbers wrong. Not much more to it than that.
Yeah, I guess.
So long.
But like I said, in this case, it could be just a case of, you know, wrong number. But, you know, the Death Claw and the other report are a little bit more specific. Yeah, Super Mutant Legionary. Super Mutant Legionaries. I'm pretty sure there are no super mutants in the Legion, so again, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And this can't be just like a mistake, like a wrong number or whatever. But okay, let's go to Station Delta and let's see what they have to say about this.
See Caesar die. What an asshole.
Yeah, I saw him die and... well, at least he tried to put up a fight. I'll say that about him. So are you like the ranger in charge here? Why are you down here, not in your camp? Ranger Payson, I may not...
No sudden moves and you and I will do all right.
Have
What do you
talked
want?
to him yet. I'm not here to make any sudden moves. You filed a report which said Legion super mutants wiped out an NCR patrol. Yeah, that does sound very unlikely. What are you doing out here? That's a good question too. Why are you not in your camp?
Keeping watch on the river and looking for anyone trying to cross it. The Legion likes to send infiltration teams over on rafts.
Alright, I guess that makes sense. I'd like to know more about the NCR Rangers. Yeah, I clearly haven't talked to him yet because he was wandering somewhere down here instead of inside the camp.
Best of the best. That's all there is to it. Really nothing more to say than that.
Okay, well, straight into the point. But yeah, let's talk about that weird report.
No, I didn't. You might hear that kind of nonsense from a drunk trooper on the strip, but not from me. The Legion doesn't have super mutants.
Right.
That patrol was wiped out by its own incompetence. A couple of the troopers were fooling around with a grenade when it went off.
Okay. So, there was a patrol that got wiped off, but it wasn't by super mutants. Okay.
See you around.
As I suspected, none of the reports turned out to be true. So what are we going to do about that? Tell Sergeant Reyes that her suspicions about misinformation being fed to the NCR was correct. Yeah, someone is clearly, I don't know, hacking our frequencies to send that misinformation. It almost sounds too creative to be the Legion. Somehow I don't feel they have that sense of humor to come up with stories like that. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, let's talk to Reyes again back at Camp Forlorn Hope. And
Patrol in the
let's
Mojave
see
almost makes you wish for a nuclear war.
what we can do about these weird reports.
Watch out!
What are you doing? don't attack these people. Anyway, let's talk to her again.
Welcome back.
So, the Rangers' version of the reports they sent to Camp Golf don't match what you received. Yeah, someone must have hacking your frequencies and sent you like wrong reports.
I knew it. Every one of the false reports was signed off by Chief Hanlon at Camp Golf. But why would the chief manipulate the reports? I need you to take everything we found to Chief Hanlon and confront him with it. I don't want to make this public unless we have to.
Alright, so you think it's someone on the inside? I guess it could be true.
Bye.
Inform Chief Hanlon what you and Sergeant Reyes have discovered. Okay. Have we met Chief Hanlon before? The name does not ring a bell. Also, let's remove that marker. Okay, apparently he's in Camp Gove. In which case, we probably have talked to him before. Let's see. I mean, these are not rangers, they're just normal soldiers, right? So are you inside here? No. These are just normal troopers. Well, it's night, so I guess he might be asleep. Anyway, according to my compass, he's somewhere in this direction. Also, I don't think I've actually been inside this large building over here. And I just noticed that there's a lot more, like, rangers standing around here.
Looks like we booted the Legion out of Nelson. About damn time.
Yeah, I guess the ranger is inside here. And I totally haven't been here yet. Okay. Let's see. Does my local map tell me anything? Seems to be in this direction.
Yes.
No, it's not this guy. I feel I'm very close, but not quite. He could be on a different floor, I suppose. Squad readiness reports terminal. Oh well, look at this. This is an easy lock, and it's not red, so I can hack it without loss of karma, right? Let's see. 3 are correct. Okay, these only have 2 in common. These only have 1 in common. Again, only 1. Savage. This must be it. Lucky 38 Executive Override. There's another one of these. These are just everywhere. But I think most of them don't actually do anything. The Legion awaits at the gates of hell, and the NCR is gonna send them in.
Looks like
I
we
mean,
booted the Legion
they have
out of
some
Nelson.
pretty badass
About damn time.
motivational
Looks
posters.
like we booted the Legion out of Nelson.
Or propaganda
About damn time.
posters. However you
We
want
got
to call
ourselves
them.
a little Ranger family reunion.
Kinda like
now.
them though.
Time's right for a few.
So yeah, he might be somewhere up here. This is actually a pretty large place. Chief Hanlon, there we go. I think I haven't talked to him yet. Doesn't really ring a bell.
I'm occupied at the moment. Come see me when I'm on the balcony.
You're occupied? You were sleeping. Well, I guess you could call that being occupied. Occupied sleeping. This is like Something I can't actually hack.
First recon's in camp.
Anyway, so what am I going to do with this guy? Maybe he won't talk to me because it's night. Maybe I have to wait until day. But I mean, he didn't go back to sleep as far as I can tell. Oh, he just went into a different bed. And one that is like filled with what looks like syringes. Yeah. Well, maybe I can't talk to him while it's night because he really needs his sleep. So I guess I'm just going to skip ahead for a few hours. It's not even that late. Come on. Are you like 9 that you have to go to bed at this time of day? So let's just skip ahead long enough. Alright, so now I hope I will be able to talk to you. Oh, here you are.
I'm occupied at the moment. Come see me when I'm on the balcony.
When are you on the balcony? You are extremely particular. Well, maybe he's going to the balcony now. Let's just follow him. Well, he's going somewhere. Is this like the balcony over here? Oh, okay. I guess this might be where I'm supposed to go. There we go. That's the balcony. Now, let's talk. Now that we're on the balcony, Chief Hanlon.
Back west, you don't see too many of these. Lakes, I mean. Natural or man-made. Any kind, really. We neglected the dams or pumped all the water out a long time ago. Owens, Isabella, the San Luis. Drained the aquifers of everything they had. Just a lot of mud and dust now. It's a different feeling watching the sun come up over the water. Takes some getting used to.
Why are
But
you
if you
telling
hear
me
long
that?
enough, it starts to seem normal. That's what a ranger's life is now. Looking east. You
I
must
haven't
be the
asked you about
courier
lakes.
folks have been talking about. Word on the radio is that someone wronged you back in Good Springs.
Right.
The Mojave has a way of burning decent people up. But it sounds like you've done right by the NCR. It's appreciated. Now what can I do for you?
Well, you could answer a few questions. Do you ever stop talking? He does talk a lot. A very long-winded way to tell me that we can talk now. I'm investigating some intel problems for Technical Sergeant Reyes. I know you're the one who's been manipulating intelligence data. Do we though? I mean, so far it's kind of circumstantial. I guess someone could be using like his radios while he's sleeping, which apparently he does a lot. So I don't know if we have some real proof here. Tell me about yourself. What do you know about Caesar? How is the NCR doing? What's the Legion been up to? Tell me about the Rangers. I have a lot of questions for this guy. So maybe before I start throwing accusations around, I'm going to ask a few questions. So tell me about yourself.
Folks around here call me the chief, but Hanlon's just fine. The Rangers run themselves pretty well, but I try to lend a hand. Mostly administrative work, helping coordinate intel on the radio. That and keeping an eye on the fires growing across the water.
Alright. So you coordinate the intel. Well, tell me more about that.
It's a simple system when it works. Patrol Rangers radio intel to ranger stations. Comm Rangers send the intel up the station chain until it reaches Camp Gulf. Then I or one of the other Rangers on duty organize the data, evaluate it, and send information to camps or troopers in the field.
Okay, so it could be one of the other rangers, because it's not always you doing the reorganizing of information. Why don't the ranger stations send the intel directly to the troopers? Do you know anything about the problems? Can you give me an advice? Let's talk about something else. I didn't actually want to talk about the intel problem just yet. I wanted to talk about him a little bit first. But yeah, sure. Why don't the ranger stations send the intel directly to the troopers?
Comm rangers might have an incomplete picture of the situation. There's a lot going on out there. Intel needs to be coordinated through Gulf so we can verify and advise appropriately. Troopers have enough to deal with. We don't want them questioning their intel.
Sounds reasonable, but now they do, because apparently we have some faulty intel here. So do you know anything about the problems?
I don't know Technical Sergeant Reyes, but coordinating intel can be messy sometimes. Things get mixed up, people get confused. Heck, I get confused, and I've been doing this for a long time now. What he or she sees as a problem might be standard operating procedure. That's not to say Reyes is wrong for being concerned, but it's easy for the sand to get in your eyes out here.
Yeah, but I mean, we have some very specific wrong reports about death claws and super mutant legionnaires, so that's not just a mix-up. So can you give me any advice?
Well, the logical thing to do is to check with the patrol rangers and comm officers. Don't be too discouraged if some things don't match up. Different people see different things, and sometimes the meaning gets twisted, lost in static from person to person.
Yeah, I guess that could be true, but again, I feel these reports are too specific to be simple mistakes. Someone has been fabricating these stories.
Shoot.
Okay, let's ask a few of the other questions. So what do you know about Caesar? Have you heard that he's dead, for example?
The best of the best, worst of the worst. He came out of NCR, one of the followers of the apocalypse. Like a lot of the followers, he went out in the wilderness with a partner to try to help those who needed helping. Not much different from how the Rangers used to be, except with books and medicine instead of guns.
Well, and where exactly did he go? I feel that we know at least some of this already.
Out to the Grand Canyon. He met a missionary from Utah, a man by the name of Joshua Graham.
Yes.
Graham helped translate for the followers and the tribes. All three of them got nabbed by the Blackfoots down there, back when they were still at war with every other tribe in the Southwest.
How did a follower wind up becoming Caesar? What happened to Graham after Hoover Dam? Are the Blackfoots part of the Legion? These are all interesting questions, so I hope I can ask all of them.
Somewhere along the way, he realized he needed to educate the Blackfoots, or they were going to get wiped out with the rest of the tribe. Showed them how to use guns, how to make explosives. Once he taught the Blackfoots a thing or two, they needed him. And he no longer needed the followers, NCR, or anyone else. He decided he could remake the tribes of the Southwest whether they wanted it or not. He became Caesar, and Joshua Graham became his legate, his right hand. And that's where Graham stayed until Hoover Dam.
Alright, that's pretty much the story as I remember it. And yeah, sure, let's ask all of these questions too.
Losing the dam was the worst defeat the Legion ever suffered. Graham had been with Caesar since the beginning, but he had to set an example. The Praetorians covered Graham in pitch, lit him on fire, and down into the Grand Canyon he went.
So that was the end of Graham. No, it was not. We have literally talked to Graham. But I guess he doesn't know that.
It's not that clear-cut. You have to understand, Graham was the toughest son of a gun anyone around these parts had ever seen. Before Hoover, we had 5 kill reports on Graham from Rangers and 1st Recon sharpshooters who tried to take him out. Some folks think he's still alive. Call him the Burned Man.
Well, they are right. So, are the Blackfoots part of the Legion now?
Yes and no. The Blackfoots don't exist anymore. Just like any other tribe that gets swallowed by the Legion. Caesar takes the tribal out of the tribe. Scrapes and burns off tattoos, breaks up families, forces mixed breeding so all the old loyalties die away. The only tribe in the Legion is the Legion. Caesar is their chief, father, and god, all rolled into one.
Which obviously raises the question what they do now with their father and leader and god gone. I mean, apparently he has already like a successor.
Shoot.
Well, let's see. How is the NCR doing? Yeah, let's talk about that topic.
Mojave Outpost sent word through the stations. The Rangers coming up from Baja moved through Dayglow a week ago. Some of the patrol rangers have reported that Oliver's power armor heavy troopers are starting to reinforce the front lines. Wish they got here a bit earlier, but that's a Senate for you.
Alright, so what do the new Rangers mean for NCR?
The Baja Rangers can do more advanced night scouting and sharpshooting to assist the troopers. Ranger combat helmets are old pre-war gear. They have built-in low-light optics. Makes a big difference.
Alright, and tell me about the heavy troopers as well.
They have the best equipment the NCR can get its hands on. Power armor salvaged from our war with the Brotherhood. Techs strip out the joint servos so you don't need special training to wear it. It feels like you're carrying a Brahmin on your back, but it can take a heck of a lot of punishment.
Interesting. That's actually some information that I didn't know yet.
Shoot.
So what's the Legion been up to?
Word is that the Legion's old-timers have shown up. Caesar's veterans from the Red Okie Centuria and what was the Painted Rock tribe. They're the best of the best and the baddest of the bad. Short of a Centurion or Praetorian, they don't come any tougher. You come across a pack of them, weigh your options carefully.
Alright, so the Legion is also calling in their best troopers. And yeah, what makes the veterans so tough?
Take a regular legionary and age him 10 years. Whatever they lose to age, they make up for with experience. Life expectancy isn't long in the Legion.
I can see
You
that.
live 10 years in Caesar's army, you're a force to be reckoned with.
If you say so. Yeah, tell me about Centurions.
There's no real equivalent to them in the NCR. Centurions are battle-born elite officers who earn their rank with blood and sweat. They wear special outfits, too, pieced together from the armor of all their defeated enemies. Good commanders, tough opponents.
And the Praetorians are basically Caesar's special guard, right?
Caesar's elite guard.
Right.
They travel with him wherever he goes. A bit of insurance in case any of his guests get funny ideas. They aren't the toughest legionaries,
Speaking of which,
but they're the most devoted to Caesar. They believe in everything the Legion stands for.
alright, well, thank you for all that information. I feel that I was supposed to meet him earlier, but for some reason I didn't realize that there was like a whole building here that I could explore, because that's a lot of information that we've got from other sources already, so,
Shoot.
some of it is even outdated. Yeah, tell me about the Rangers as well.
I could tell you a lot if you had the time. But at my age, I'm not sure which of us would get tired first. What do you want to know?
He does have a lot to say. Have any good stories to tell? Yes, please just give me the highlights.
Suppose it depends on what you think's good. Most folks want to hear about Hoover Dam and Boulder City, but it's a long story. If you want some tall tales about hunting down slavers or busting up gangs, talk to one of the younger rangers.
Speech 50. There must be something good the Rangers have done that you're proud of. You would think so.
It's kind of a long one, but all right. About 25 years ago, a group of NCR settlers pushed way south into Baja. I guess it doesn't seem so far now if you look at a map, but back then they were out of ways. They built this little shanty town around a well in the middle of nowhere. Called it Rattletail.
Well, apparently I got some XP for that. I guess for the speech skill check. Yeah, sure. Let's just hear the entire story.
Word got back to one of our stations that raiders had been attacking the place. I went out with 6 rangers. We must have been on the trail for a week before we got to Rattletail. We lost one woman to night stalkers and another almost died of dehydration. When we reached the place, it's 6 shacks set up around an old well.
All right, continue.
There's over 24 bodies lying in the dunes way outside of town and 5 men with .308 rifles crouched behind sandbags. And these bodies, these people out in the sand, they aren't raiders, aren't even heavily armed. They're just people who were trying to get to the only well in 50 miles. I didn't have to talk to the men to see that they did not care one bit.
All right, continue.
They had planted an NCR flag over the well, and they would not budge until every last one of them was laid out dead and cold. So I walked up and told them there was a group of raiders coming, 100 strong. I made up some cockamamie name for them and everything. The men looked at each other, looked at us, and asked me what we were going to do about it.
Continue.
I told them we would take them back into NCR territory because we'd already lost 10 rangers on the way out. 10 rangers, 5 men with .308 rifles. Well, that was enough for them. They packed up what they could and we took them back north. Last I heard, they settled somewhere in Anza Borrego. Raised bighorners. Had some tough times, but it worked out okay for them. So there you go. That's my one bit of good.
All right, that was a long story, but thanks for sharing it. But will you also tell me about Hoover Dam and Boulder City? Again, I already know, but let's hear it from him.
In big battles, Caesar deploys his legionaries in waves. Recruits up front, prime soldiers behind the recruits, old guard bringing up the rear. Opponents wear themselves out dealing with the first 2 waves, if they survive that long. When the veterans step up, there's not much fight left. Caesar can adapt, though, and when required, he can run any mix of legionaries as skirmishers and still retain order in the ranks.
All right, continue. It's interesting that his dialogue is so long that they split it into several parts and you can just, cancel the whole conversation and say, okay, I don't want to hear any more of that.
Joshua Graham, Caesar's old legate, he wasn't so flexible. When the Legion attacked Hoover Dam, General Oliver ordered his troopers back to the middle ground just after first contact. Graham pushed all of the legionaries onto the dam, filling the east side with recruits up front and veterans in the back, by the book.
All right, continue.
But once they were in, they were stuck there. Oliver's troopers were entrenched and wouldn't give a foot. That's when we ordered the Rangers and the 1st Recon sharpshooters to start picking off veteran Legion officers from a high ridge west of the dam. That only lasted about a minute before Graham ordered the back ranks to push through to the front and rush the ridge.
Continue.
Caused total chaos among the younger legionaries. Oliver's troopers fell back to the side walkways and stayed out of the veterans' way. By the time the veterans got to the ridge, we were already in Boulder City. They followed us down there, but we were out before they realized what was happening.
Continue.
We'd packed the old city with C4 and dynamite. Crude, but it did the job. Those who didn't die in the blast were in no position to mount a defense. The ones left on the dam didn't know what to do. The troopers routed them. Graham pulled the remaining legionaries back, but the battle was over. He went south, back to the Grand Canyon, back to Caesar. And that was the last we saw or heard from Joshua Graham.
Alright, so again, it's kind of what we knew already, but in a little bit more detail, I would say.
Shoot.
Okay, I think I asked all the normal questions now, so now I have to talk about the issue at hand. So, I'm investigating some intel problems for Technical Sergeant Reyes. I mean, he already told me his opinion. It's just like mix-ups and misunderstandings and mistakes. But I'm not buying it. There's more behind this.
Interesting that she would wrangle someone else into sorting out the problem. But I suppose you're in the right place. A lot of intel comes through here.
So, yeah, I'm back at this dialogue now. Do you know anything about the problems? And he already told me his opinion about
Shoot.
it. So, I guess, I actually have to accuse him of being the one who's manipulating the intel. But from what I understand, he's not the only one operating the radio, or maybe he's just saying it to cover himself. But one way or the other, this seems to be my only option here to continue this investigation. So I guess I'm going to use this dialogue now.
Hold on. If we're gonna have this conversation, let's go somewhere more private. Don't worry, not much bite left in this old dog.
Okay, so that is something you don't want to talk about on the balcony. Come on, it's pretty private here. Speak to Chief Hanlon in his office. Okay, apparently he has very particular demands on where to talk about what subject. And he's also going kind of slow. But okay, I guess we're going to humor him and follow him into his office. I just hope it's not too far away.
Smart move for the Kings to back down. They didn't know who they were messing with.
We got ourselves
Patrolling
a
the
little
Mojave.
region
Okay, I guess
damage
it's
we
one
wish
of
for
these
nuclear winter. Time's right for a
rooms.
few.
There we go. I'm even going to close the door so we can talk in private.
Wish I could have been there to see.
Sorting and manipulating intelligence is what I do. It's what Rangers are supposed to do. This job isn't all gunfighting and gulping shots of whiskey, no matter what the boys and ladies out there say.
Okay, sorting I can understand, but manipulating? But you're inventing your own intelligence reports. I've seen the logs and talked to the Rangers. Yeah, I mean, that's certainly not what you're supposed to do, right? You're just confusing these people.
You have you? Misdirection. When you're
What?
pinned down, outnumbered, and 2 days from any help, it's just about the best friend you can have. Misdirection's what saved me all these years. It's what saved us at Hoover Dam. But it's been 5 years now, and Caesar's right across that lake.
He's not.
He's closer now than he ever was before.
Not really.
I was a young man once. I know what it's like to want to fight for your home. But this isn't it.
Why did you do it? Aren't you fighting for the people of New Vegas? How does spreading false intel help anything? You're dead. Yeah, I don't fully understand why you're doing this.
People back home don't listen. They don't care. Senators, Brahmin barons, folks who are just trying to make it from day to day. It's been so many years that people forget about it. Conscription brings in fresh troops that die here every month, like it's routine. And even if we hold this dam, what then? Are we going to send the NCR's men and women to die here for another 5 years? 10? Patrol the whole length of the Colorado for hundreds of miles? Holding this dam, it'll be the death of us.
Well, so would the Legion taking over this place, so it's not really that much of a choice that we have here, right? But what does that accomplish? Why did you do it? Aren't you fighting for the people in New Vegas? Again, I'm still not entirely certain what you were trying to accomplish.
Creating fear and instability among the troopers without causing harm. It's the only thing I could think of to shake things up. It took some people getting killed to realize I'd gone too far. I had to stop.
Okay, so you were trying to scare them away from holding the dam? I guess that's the idea behind this.
It's never gonna end. This fight with Caesar. People back home don't know what these young men and women are in for. The Legion is the worst enemy we've ever faced. But we can't stop Caesar here. Not without getting a lot of good people killed. More than anyone cares to count up. But even if we do stop him, I don't see how we're ever going to be able to pull out.
Well, Caesar's dead already. Although I guess he's not talking about Caesar in particular, but like the Legion as a whole. And they're obviously still there. Aren't you fighting for the people of New Vegas? Yeah, what about them?
We're fighting on their behalf, but Mr. House and the families are stringing us up inch by inch.
Oh, I'll take care of
They'll
Mr. House
drain us
eventually,
dry
don't
while
worry.
we fight and die over this dam. We offered them sanctuary in NCR territory before, but they won't listen. Troopers and rangers have been dying here for more than 5 years while the families sit pretty behind that damn wall.
Yeah, I still don't quite follow you because, as far as I can tell, holding the dam is not just like a fun activity that you do because why not, but it's a necessity to prevent the Legion from completely invading this place and eventually even like NCR territory, like the main NCR land. So if you don't stop the Legion here, how do you want to stop them later when they have like the dam in their control? So yeah, I'm not entirely sure if I agree with your logic here. So what do you think I should do about this?
First thing that comes to mind is to turn me in. But that might not be the best play, all things considered. Even if your heart's in the right place, I reckon it might do a lot more harm than good.
Too bad I'm turning you in. What will you do if I don't turn you in? Huh. I mean, that's, I guess, a valid question.
Oliver can't stand that Rangers got credit for victory at Hoover. Whatever I recommend, he does the opposite. I said I wanted us on the ridge. He put them right on the western part of the dam itself. We don't have enough firepower to hold that spot. If the troopers fall back, and they will, the Rangers will advance to cover Oliver's retreat. We lose the dam, Oliver and the Senator are ruined.
So you basically want them to lose a dam to make sure that Oliver and the Senate get like a loss, to shake them up and to remove them from their position, right? Again, that seems like a very large gamble. It sounds like he's just trying to get back at Oliver because he thinks that he's not properly, not doing like a proper strategy here. But by doing so, he may just hand victory to the Legion, so that's a bit of a problem. What about you and the Rangers? That's crazy. Caesar's dead. The Legion can't hold itself together for 5 years, much less 10. Finally I can actually use an option that talks about Caesar being dead. You've convinced me your secret is safe. Yeah, let's just use this one.
It's a gamble either way. Even with Caesar gone, we still might not outlast the Legion. I suppose that's a risk I'll have to take. For our sake, I hope you're right. I guess that I should thank you for bringing me to my senses. So, thanks. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna walk out that door and pretend we never had this talk.
Okay. Well, I guess that's the end of it. I mean, I guess he was doing it out of like good intentions, although I think it may not have been like the best idea.
Hey, we got ourselves a little Ranger family reunion now. Time's right for a few.
I mean, what he suggested basically amounted to
We won't go
giving
fight.
up the dam to
Legion can
prevent a defeat. But giving up the dam in itself would be a defeat, and it would strengthen Legion. So, yeah, I don't think this would have been such a great idea. But whatever, it seems that we finished this quest, and I guess he's not going to do it again, I hope. I mean, I could have like turned him in, but I don't know, I guess if he's not going to do it again, I'm fine with that. Do I still have to do anything about this quest? No, no. The quest is over. Yeah. And I mean, the amount of quests in my journal are actually getting less and less. Wheel of Fortune, speak with someone in Nipton about the missing radiation suits. I mean, this is not a priority. Yeah, may want to continue this one for Red Lucy. But, I guess at some point I really need to go back to New Vegas and take care of, like, the Omerta, right? This is like one of the major factions that I still haven't dealt with. So maybe we will continue with that in the next episode. But yeah, good thing we have, uncovered the mystery behind this. And I guess I should have known that someone who talks like that and talks so much and likes to tell stories so much like him, that he would be the one inventing all these crazy stories. And yeah, there's the Legion camp, but it's pretty much a camp of death at this point. Although technically I suppose there's supposed to be more Legions that you just can't see because they're not there yet, and it's because the game can't render it. But whatever, I think we are going to call it a day here. So, as usual, thank you for watching and see you again next time.